Hello again, and welcome to Fantasy Props. Today we're going to be discussing the different types of filament that you can get for your 3D printer, what they are, why you would use it, and how, and any trade-offs that entail. So, without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so the first and most common filament that you can get for your 3D printer is, if you can see this, PLA. So PLA, or polylactic acid, is a plant-based plastic. It's the most common 3D filament that you can get for your printer. It's nice because it's easily available, and if you're just starting out, it's one of the easiest ones to work with. Things to note is that it's with your 3D printer, there are different sizes. So the most common, if you'll see this, it's quite thick. So this is 3 millimeters. The common one you would find is 1.75. If you just got a 3D printer, then more than likely it will accept a 1.75 millimeter filament. So when you also get it, you get on the packaging, it will also list the different types of the tolerances, net weight, and the temperature, working temperature when using it. So PLA. So why would you use it? So you would use it to basically print out anything, toys. Maybe you're working on cosplay. Maybe you're building like things for an Overwatch costume. The Blade Runner guns are pretty good on that. The one thing to note is that unlike other filament like ABS, it doesn't have as much strength. But there are things that you can do with your print in order to give it a bit more strength. But be reminded that you won't be able to print something that you need a lot of strength on it. So the things. So operating temperature around 190 degrees centigrade. You won't need a heated bed with it. There you can use if you got a heated bed, please do it. Please do use it. That will actually help it adhere to the bed better. But you don't necessarily need a heated bed with it. The next one is, and the other one is most common, is ABS. Now ABS filament, unlike PLA, ABS needs a heated bed, and it also needs a much higher temperature. So here listed, it says, the packaging says 220 degrees. And necessarily when using ABS, you want to aim for about 230 degrees. It really likes a lot of heat, and it also likes a lot of heated bed in order to stick to the bed when you're printing. So you print when you're like halfway through and it's like a really long print, it doesn't slide off the bed. So ABS needs a heated bed, needs a higher temperature. It also produces a smell. So PLA doesn't make a smell, so you don't, if you haven't got a particularly well ventilated area, you'll probably be fine with it. ABS, you will need a ventilation of some kind, because it's like, say if you have if you remember when you've got a piece of plastic or something, and you put like a soldering iron, and you get that kind of awful stinky smell of it. That's the kind of smell that it gives off. You are basically, with this, you are literally melting a plastic. So things to note, it is smelly, it will need a heated bed, and it needs a much higher temperature. Okay, moving on. So the next one, with ABS, it also has a lot more strength. So anything you're printing, if you need a lot of strength with it, ABS is the right one to choose. So the next one is actually noting that the strength. The next one is a bit of a halfway man between PLA and ABS. So that is, I don't actually have some here, but I've used it before, is PETG. So PETG, or polythene tetraphthalate glycol modified, PETG. It's basically it's like ABS and like PLA. It gives you a lot of the strengths of ABS that it gives, but also keeping in a way of PLA. So it doesn't give off this kind of smell, even though you will need, like, if you can have it, get a ventilated area, like put it in somewhere, maybe put a fan there. If it's not too cold outside, open a window. It's always good to do that if you can. But PETG, it will not produce a smell. You will have to heat it at a higher temperature, like ABS. It will also need a heated bed. There is, I've seen some people try to get away without a heated bed, but if you have a 3D printer and you have a heated bed, use it. It's just a better way. Like will give you less problems, because 99 times out of when you're working with a 3D printer, your problem is getting getting the print to stick to the bed. Once you've got like a couple of, like, what I do when I print is I basically nurse it for the first couple of layers. Once I know that it's printed, it's got a couple of layers down there, and it's not starting to come off the bed kind of thing. It's flat, and then you get like a couple of layers, and you see something curl up. That's not what you want. You want it to basically have this kind of when it's printing, it's printing solid, and you're not getting any kind of curl. So I tend to if I've got a heated bed, I tend to turn it on. Things that I use are painter's tape, so the blue tape that you get at the hardware store. So I use that. But yeah, so if you want the strength of ABS, but you don't necessarily want the smell, PETG is a good one to choose for. So suppliers, next off. Let's get my list up. So good suppliers is Protopasta. They are they're a company based in America, and they're basically an independent supplier of 3D filament. And the stuff that they produce is really good. If you can get it, it's great. And the stuff that they make is really easy to use. You can just put it into your 3D printer, and it removes a lot of the problems, the issues of I've had I think I've got about 6 or 7 reels here from Protopasta, and it's just working well. So if you can get it, it's in terms of shipping, if you are in Canada, it's not cheap, but it's good stuff. So Protopasta. The other one is Hatchbox, which you can get from Amazon. It's $30 a reel. That's also very good. Another one is Matter Hackers. They're also very good. Yeah, and then there's a whole load of other ones. But it's if 3D printing is not an exact science. It's you've got to play with it, try a few things, maybe try this, maybe try that, upping the temperature, lowering the temperature, maybe trying glass beds or painter's tape. I've also used Pritt Stick, the glue sticks that you get. Those seem to be working quite well. But yeah, every print is different. That's what I'm saying. But once you get a system and it seems to work well, stick with it. So yeah, it's lots tempting when you go online and everybody's like, oh, I'm using these settings and these work, and you're like, oh, try this and try that. Once you've got it locked in, stay with it, because otherwise it can be quite frustrating. But it's always good to experiment. Anyway, so I hope you have found this video helpful. And please do, if you've liked the video, please do like it, and if you can, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to this channel. It helps me know if I'm putting out good content, and like it's my second video now, so um, so it's I'm learning as I go. So anyway, if you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to put them in the comment section, and I will list all the suppliers in the video description. Anyway, thank you, and tune in next time when I'll be talking about Simplify 3D and the kind of settings that I've got in my Simplify 3D setup for my 3D printer, and like how I adjust them to get like really good prints. Okay, and for that, thank you, and yeah, and see you next time. Okay, bye.